Okay.
I'm Rita. I'm a sister of St. Joseph. I'm a Josephite, and I believe. If you want to reveal your age, you're more than welcome to.
I've learned that part of who I am is I have a strong sense of mercy, and I have a strong sense of walking with people in life. Have I struggled in my life? Yeah, there's been crosses, there's been struggles, but the crosses of particularly asylum seekers in today's climate environment is very, very hard. So it's I have mercy for these people, and because I do believe in a loving God, in a God who wants the world for us, you know. Part of my role at the moment is coordinating a program at Penola Catholic College in Broadmeadows, and I work with the Year 11 students, and they go out on Christian service. I work with asylum seekers. I love it. I've been there as a volunteer for 10 years, and I work in the food bank, and I'm downstairs, and I'm called, they all know that I'm a Catholic nun, and I'm called Our Lady of the Chocolate, because at 2:30 on a Thursday afternoon I go out and give chocolate, because it's a stressful environment to work in when you're face to face with people who are seeking asylum in our country, and you want to be the face of hope for them. And I also work at McKillop Young Adult Community, where we have 2 sisters and 2 young people living together, and we also have an outer Matcat community where young people come and join us for prayer or faith sharing or dinners or pilgrimages or road trips. We have fun. Not when I was 16 or 17. At that stage, no, church wasn't really important for me. However, I grew up at Broadmeadows, so my family went to church every Sunday, and you know, not that I found Mass boring, but I wanted to get more involved in Mass, let's say that. And so I was a guitarist, and I can sing a little bit, so I joined the choir, and I led, you know, some of the, with others, did the music in the parish, and so that got me involved in church. And I did that probably from when I was about 13 until I was about 17 or 18. So I've always had a passion for music, and my faith was lived out through the music. And it was great, because you mixed with other people. They were young people, or older women or older men, but that community, that small community inside the bigger community, was what kept me there. A little part of my journey was doing a youth leadership training camp, and in those days it was called Rosie's. Now Rosie's grew up in Rosebud. It started in a little coffee shop beside the Catholic church in Rosebud, and we used to go down there for holidays. And we used to go down to the coffee shop that was only run 4 weeks of the year, and there was young people from all over Victoria, mainly from the Mulgrave area, because that's where the Oblates who ran Rosie's were, and there was young people that came mainly from that area. But we became involved because we used to holiday there and go past the coffee shop and drop in. And it was there when I was on Rosie's I'm going to date myself now, back in 1980, where I was on that 2-week leadership working with young people, where I discovered that nuns and priests and seminarians were actually normal. They were, you know, because sometimes there I thought they were above everybody else, but really they weren't. They were just like me. And it was from them that I discovered that maybe this way of life could be for me. In Broadmeadows, there was the Sisters of St Joseph, and so they were always part of my growing up. I was only taught by one Sister of St Joseph in primary school. However, the principal was a Sister of St Joseph, and I got to know some of the sisters through the music in the parish, but also because they were just around. So why the Sisters of St Joseph? Because I knew an inspirational group of women who were following the footsteps of Jesus, and following the footsteps of Mary McKillop, and so it was all part of that. So I knew the sisters, and they were down to earth. If you wanted something done, you knew the sisters were always going to be there. We had the St Joseph's Babies Home Fete when I was growing up, and you would see the sisters actually engaged in their ministry. I said to a young person one day, your faith would scare some people because of how deep your faith is. So for me, what I learned from young people is that I can't give them faith. They have got an enormous depth of faith. What I try to do is to lead them to discover about their faith, or to talk to them about their faith. I also learn that because of their faith, they want to reach out, like I do, to those that are in need and to those that are on the margins of society. Something that I think about often is that how do I explain my faith? It's very difficult, but a little, and I hope I get this right, but there's something about to someone who has faith, no explanation is necessary. To someone who has no faith, no explanation can be given. I think that to live without faith is to live without hope. How do I sustain that? Is through living a community life, and it's through a commitment to prayer. And what is prayer? For me, it's a silence, and in that silence there's a communication with God at a very deep level. What sustains my faith is being in a community, McKillop Young Adult community, where we do pray together, being with the Sisters of St Joseph, who are other like-minded people, like myself, who do have faith, who do have hope that we can make a difference in the world, a belief in a God that loves me and continues to love me even though sometimes I fail and I need to ask for forgiveness, and God calls me back and rejoices when I do that. So it's the worshipping community through the sisters, but also through parish involvement, that sustains, that nourishes, that continues to give me life. And I suppose it's like, there's a story of a man who was in prison, and when he looked out the window, or two people that were in prison, when they looked out of the window, one looked up at the sky and saw beauty, and the other one looked down at the ground, and that's all they could see. So it's, I suppose, where you have your focus. So when I work with asylum seekers, and that's where I live out my faith as well, they have no faith. They have the belief that they're going to become permanent residents gets squashed in them. And I continue to say, I don't know what the end of the story is going to be, but I'm going to walk beside you and be with you in your journey. And that gives them hope. And it's also for me to say, people have been with me on my journey, and I continue to move towards a God who promises life in its fullness. I'm Rita. I'm 51 years of age. I'm a sister of St Joseph. I believe.